Okay, let's be honest. If your idea of a perfect Friday night involves your favorite pajamas, a streaming service, and absolutely zero obligations, then you are about to feel very, very seen. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of people who just love staying home. The ones society might call boring, but you know what? Science calls them something else entirely. We all have that friend, right? Or, hey, maybe you are that friend. The one who suddenly has a headache or is just so tired and always promises, maybe next time. It can feel like a personal rejection, can it? But what if I told you it has nothing to do with you at all? What if that last-minute cancellation, that deep desire to just stay in, is actually a powerful act of self-preservation? Turns out there's a whole lot going on right under the surface. All right, let's get into the first big idea here, the social battery. I want you to think of your social energy just like the battery on your phone. Every single interaction, every text, every call, every conversation, it uses up a little bit of power. Now look at how different the chargers are. For an extrovert, being around a bunch of people with all the chaos and noise, it's like plugging straight into a fast charger. It juices them up. But for an introvert, every social event, even a really fun one, is slowly, steadily draining that battery. And home? Well, home is the only charger that actually works for them. And get this isn't just a personality quirk. There's actual science that backs this all up. It's called Optimal Arousal Theory. Basically, it means some people's nervous systems are just naturally more turned on, so they look for quieter places to avoid getting totally overwhelmed. So no, it's not laziness and it's not about being antisocial. It's literally about how your brain is wired. Okay, so that's the energy part, but there's another huge piece to this puzzle. Beyond just energy levels, there's this really powerful psychological need for control. I mean, just think about it. The outside world is completely unpredictable. It's loud, plans can flip in an instant, and you're kind of forced into making small talk you don't want to make. But at home, you are the master of your universe. You control the lights, the sounds, the company, the entire vibe. It is your safe, predictable space. And for people who deal with anxiety or who are just highly sensitive to their environment, this level of control isn't just a nice to have, no way. It is a fundamental need. In a world that can feel completely overwhelming, home becomes this necessary sanctuary where you can finally decompress and just feel safe. So, what's actually happening during all this time spent at home? Society loves to push this narrative that you're just doing nothing, but honestly, that could not be further from the truth. We really need to reframe solitude, not as some kind of emptiness, but as a hidden superpower. You know, research actually shows that people who genuinely love their time alone often come away with these incredible benefits. It's in those quiet moments, totally free from distraction, the creativity sparks. It's when we can finally hear our own thoughts, and when we often solve the problems that have been bugging us for weeks. Staying home isn't doing nothing. It's where some of the most important work actually gets done. It is so easy to get caught up in this social media culture that just glorifies being out all the time, constantly making memories. But what if your best life, your most authentic life, is quiet? What if it's a documentary, a good meal, and the absolute bliss of having no plans? That's not a failure to live. That is knowing yourself on a really profound level. Now, here's where we need to be really honest, because we have to add an important distinction. For some people, staying home isn't about that peaceful self-awareness. It can actually be a sign of something a little darker. And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Is staying home a choice that fills your cup and recharges you? Or does the very thought of leaving just feel too heavy, too overwhelming? In one case, home is your sanctuary. In the other, it can become a cage, built by things like social anxiety or depression. So this is the crucial question you have to ask yourself honestly. Is your time at home a conscious choice you're making for your own peace, or is it an unconscious act of hiding from the world? The answer to that question makes all the difference. But let's go back to those who truly choose it, the ones for whom home is a genuine source of joy and restoration. There's a really powerful way to understand this. It's not about being less than other people. It's about being wired for something totally different. I really want you to let this one sink in. If you feel happiest and most like yourself in the quiet of your own space, you are not broken. You're not flawed. You are simply wired for depth over noise and for peace over performance. So here's the bottom line. The desire to stay home, more often than not, comes from a place of fullness, not from a place of lack. It's for people who find so much joy in small things, in quiet observation, and in the richness of their own minds. They don't need constant entertainment from the outside world because their internal world is already a fascinating place to be. So I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. Where do you land on this? Is this growing love for staying home a sign that we're all becoming more self-aware, tapping into a richer inner life? Or are we all just getting really good at making excuses? What do you think?